Alright, how's it going, guys? So, I'm back, and as you can probably tell from the title, this is going to be recent vinyl editions. Now, I've been promising this big monster recent vinyl finds video, and this is it basically, but it's going to be split in two. It has to be. I have too much stuff to put it all in one video. Um, So it's still going to be two big videos, really. And I plan on splitting it up by genre loosely. And, yeah, and doing it over two videos. Now, if you've been following my videos, I've said things along the lines of things have been kind of interesting, things have been good, things have been bad. You know, being just kind of cryptic, I guess. The reason for it is, essentially, again, if you follow my videos, you know, we just recently had a daughter, a baby, our second kid, and about 2 months ago. So, about 2 months ago, my wife had the baby, and I got 2 weeks off from work. After those 2 weeks, I went back to work, and I worked for another 2 weeks, and then I got laid off, lost my job. And I've been out of work now for about 5 weeks. So, yeah. Anyway, being the crazy record collector I am, well, first let me just say, I knew it was coming. I knew I was going to get laid off. Even before my daughter arrived, I knew it was going to happen. A big indicator was that I was training the people that were going to take my job. Yeah, wonderful stuff, believe me. So I figured I kept buying like I normally do, maybe a little bit more ordering online, getting some things that I've wanted for a while, and just getting lucky too at the same time as far as vinyl purchases. I really wasn't worried, you know. I got a really nice severance package. I've been there for 13 years. I started there when I was 19. So I really wasn't that worried, and I found another job. And I start on Monday, this coming Monday. So, thank goodness. But at the same time, you know, there was worry there, obviously. I mean, it's just such bad timing, just having a baby. My wife wasn't working, you know. And so I've been home with my family for about 5 weeks, and I've never had this much time off. Since I started working at 15, like, I've never had this much time off. It's been interesting. It sort of felt like summer vacation, but going back to work. So, long story short, you know, I anticipated this to be sort of a last hurrah, and it's not really gonna be. I mean, you know, but a video this big you won't see probably for a while, but from me, you know. But anyway, let me show you what I got. It's been interesting, and I've got some killer stuff here. So this video is going to be the jazz finds and the post-punk finds, loosely. Post-punk, and a couple electronic albums. But yeah, some great stuff. The next video, which is going to be either tomorrow night or the night after, I'm really looking forward to this one. Tons of killer psych. Yeah, excellent stuff. And progressive rock, Brazilian, Canterbury Prague. I mean, great stuff. So don't miss that one. But yeah, this one's pretty damn good too. So let me show you a couple things. I'll start with, well, what we're listening to. I've shown this before. It's not new. Michigan Meltdown. It's a compilation of sort of obscure rock bands from the late 60s, early 70s in Michigan. Detroit. Killer. This is killer. Get this. Awesome. I don't know how well you could hear it. But anyway, I'll start with a couple things I have not listened to yet because I picked them up today. So I haven't gotten around to listen to it yet. But I picked up, it's still sealed, the 4 Men with Beards reissue of Jerudi Column, The Return of Jerudi Column. And I'm pretty sure this is his first album. Pretty sure. Sometimes called his best, but I think just because it's his debut, and it was so different for that time, that they call it his best, but again, I haven't listened to it yet. If it's as good as all the other Drudy Column albums I've heard, I'm gonna love it. And I have another Drudy Column to show in this video. And this I found today was, couldn't believe I found this. It was still sealed too, amazingly. But I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's from 1991, I think, on 4AD. This Mortal Coil, and this is Blood, and I believe it's their last album. 2 LP set. Yeah, I opened it, but it was sealed. Could not believe it. For $20. I couldn't leave it sitting there. So really happy to get it, and really looking forward to listening to this. Okay, so moving on. This I picked up. I only listened to a little bit of this. Wasn't bad for what I heard, but you know, it is what it is. Laurie Anderson, Home of the Brave, a film by Laurie Anderson. This is the soundtrack to that. Live concert, Laurie Anderson. So, yeah, and also her husband, Lou Reed, The Blue Mask. This is excellent. So glad to finally get this. Excellent stuff. So, yeah, 1980. What year is this? I don't know, 84 maybe? I don't know. Mid-80s, I think. The Blue Mask. Picked up, gonna try and move through these quick. Dazzle Ships by OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. And I gotta thank Dr. Deadwax for inspiring me to check these guys out some more. I believe this is one of the albums he recommended. Dazzle Ships, cool stuff. I believe this cover comes in different variations, the color and configuration, different designs. Cool stuff for sure. What else we got? This was a cool find. It was like $5. 1996, Noise Addict. So a while ago I showed Noise Addict their debut EP, which was a reissue. Australian sort of post-punk, pop, sort of stuff. This is their only full-length LP. Yeah, Australian. This is, what label is this on? I don't know, Grand Royal? I don't know, it was $5, and not bad, sort of poppy, punks influence stuff from 1995, 96, Meet the Real You, Noise Addict. Still in the shrink. Cool find. Classic, which I didn't have. Heaven Up Here, Echo and the Bunnymen, killer, classic stuff. What's to say? Excellent. Sort of in the same vein, Bauhaus, 1979 to 1983, a compilation, 2 LP set on Beggars Banquet. Again, post-punk, gothy, you know, one of the original goth bands, if you will. Bauhaus, killer. Again, same. All this is, well, not all of it, but you know, The Church, Remote Luxury. This is a U.S. press, and I believe in the U.S. they put together 2 of their EPs and made this album, Remote Luxury. Really liked what I heard. Great band. Again, Australian, I believe. Yeah. The last Talk album I needed, their debut. I'm pretty sure it's the last one I needed. The Party's Over. This was free. UK press. Yeah. A buddy of mine gave it to me. Very happy to get it. Of course, very poppy still, but excellent. Really glad to get this. Finally. I don't see that one very often. Now this is a cool one. A reissue, but it's a Russian press. And I only say it's a Russian press because all the liner notes are in Russian, which kind of sucks, but the music, of course, is, you know, the music is what's important. And the lyrics are obviously all in English. But yeah, I'm so happy to finally get this. No New York. So yeah, killer. The Brian Eno recorded, produced, sort of compilation from the no wave scene in New York. Really, sort of, you know, abrasive at times, but excellent. I can only describe it if you're not familiar with the no wave scene. Almost like avant-garde punk at times, you know, but killer. You have the Contortions, which excellent. Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, which was the only band I didn't hear before off of this, but Mars and DNA I'd heard before. Excellent, excellent stuff. Even the promo sticker there is in Russian. If you could see that. But yeah, really happy to get this. Killing Joke. Sort of a later Killing Joke album, Brighter Than 1,000 Suns. So, you know, it's alright. An original pressing. Look at that, huh? Which one's better? Anyway, yeah, for, I don't know, maybe like $5 or something. 5 or 6 maybe on EG Records. 1986. But what? Really, you know, this is the album right here. Killing Joke. Their debut, it finally got it. An original again on EG Records. 1980 US pressing. This is fantastic. Post-punk killer. Really happy to get in beautiful shape too. So excellent. Alright, Gerudy Column once again. This was in a local store and I couldn't believe it. It's like, it's an original. This came out in Portugal originally. It was a very limited run. The name of the album is Amigos in Portugal. Look at that album cover. And yeah, this is an original Portuguese press. I love that album cover, that photograph. Beautiful stuff. I mean, very ambient, of course. Just killer. Still has the. This was in pristine shape too, I gotta say. There's the label. And has the insert. Yeah, there's a photograph on the other side. Oh. Yeah, really happy to find this in my local store. Been having a lot of luck just in local stores. Some cool stuff. Especially in my next video, you'll see. Great stuff. Cool. Basement 5. Again, post-punk. Again, sort of reggae-ish at times. 1965 to 1980. Original press. Has the poster on Island Records. Killer. This was a cool score too. The Jam. Finally got this. This is the Modern World promo copy. I believe it is a white label promo too. Let me show you. Sorry, I'm just moving quick, not saying too much, just a lot here. But yeah, white label on Polydor in pristine shape. So happy to get it. I've been getting lucky with the promos. You'll see. You'll see in my next video, I should say. Again, don't miss that one. But yeah, the Jam. This is the Modern World. Arguably their most well-known track. Maybe their most well-known album. Great stuff. Yeah. Chrome. Alien. I always get it confused. Alien soundtrack. I always think Alien Lanes. My first real exposure to Chrome. And again, very interesting, very abrasive at times out there, but very cool. Really happy to get reissue, obviously. Originals of this tend to go for a lot, but yeah, Chrome. Cool stuff. Another cool find. Cramps. Bad Music for Bad People. Love that album cover. An original. It's a comp, but still. On IRS. And really nice shape, so happy to get that one. Love the Cramps. Oh god, this album blew me away. Never heard this album. Never heard it. I'd heard this band before. I've read about them and heard them, but I've never heard this album, believe it or not. And an absolute classic. If you do not own this, you must get it. Like now. This blew me away. Mission of Burma versus Awesome, awesome stuff. Mission of Burma, of course, they came out of the hardcore scene, but this is much more post-punk, much more interesting. I think it's all the tape loops and effects, tape manipulations, loops, that just make it so much more interesting than your average sort of hardcore stuff. I'd probably classify it much more as post-punk than hardcore, but as the scene that came out of in the 80s. But yeah, this is classic record. Reissue on Matador. In love with this record, truly. Get it if you don't have it. I saw these records, I couldn't believe it. Like, never see albums by this band. Beat Happening, Jamboree on K Records. I'm sure it's a reissue. I don't know. K Records, Olympia, Calvin Johnson. Say what you will about him. I know some people sort of aren't too crazy about him, and his whole scene's kind of elitist at times. Very lo-fi. Yeah, lo-fi stuff. But great. I always liked the Beck album, One Foot in the Grave. And that's also on K Records. Has that very acoustic, minimalist sound. And Calvin Johnson, I believe, produced that or plays on it. I don't know. I'm sure he probably produced it. He definitely had a hand in it. And it just reminds me, it has that sound, But yeah. And I believe that's Jamboree's their second LP. And I also got You Turn Me On, Beat Happening. Also really good. I think I like Jamboree more, but this is still excellent, from 1992. Excellent. I'd love to find their first album. But okay, a couple electronic albums. This one I've had for a couple months now. A lot of these, I should say, go back a few months, so a couple months. So I've had them for a little while. The Knife, Silent Shout, fantastic record. Fever Ray, for those of you who like that album. If you like that album, you'll love this. Fever Ray, she was in this duo. Yeah. Swedish duo. Yeah, Swedish electronic stuff. Killer. Check it out. Really happy to get that. 2 LP set. Picked this up, 12-inch reissue of Come to Daddy by Aphex Twin. It's probably his most popular track. This is on Warp, so happy to get that. I also picked up the other Aphex Twin reissues, I Care Because You Do. Excellent stuff. This one's much more beat oriented. The focus seems to be more on the beat, but still very good. Loving it. But this album blew me away. In love with this. The Richard D. James album. What a record, man. I love it. This guy was brilliant. Of course, it's only in the last 2 years that I've checked him out at all, but killer stuff. Awesome. Hold on a second. I'll put on a CD. Alright. Sorry, guys. Alright, so now to close this off with the jazz portion of this video. Some cool jazz for sure. Hopefully that's not too loud. Found an absolutely near mint copy. An original, I'm pretty sure, beautiful copy. Charles Lloyd, Forest Flower. Charles Lloyd at Monterey. Awesome jazz album, really. Pristine shape. Gatefold. And it is has the original Atlantic inner sleeve. And this thing is unplayed. Atlantic label. So happy to get this. Cool stuff. What else we got? This one I have not listened to. Thelonious Monk. Epistrophe, however you say it. Haven't listened to it on the Affinity label. Really nice shape. Has this sort of stain or something here, but other than that. And this is cheap, just a couple bucks. Haven't listened to it yet though. This one, Eric Dolphy. Eric Dolphy's the man. I'll grab anything I see by him. Jitterbug Waltz. Sure, released long after his death, but 2 LP set. Really, really good. Love it. Fairly common one, but didn't have it. Gary Burton, Keith Jarrett on Atlantic Records. Beautiful stuff. I mean, just a good jazz album. Not much to say about it. It's not really, I wouldn't call it a free album at all. It's from 1970? I don't know. 71. But very good, you know. Oh man, alright. Now we're sort of getting more into the free area here for sure. This album is killer. It's absolutely killer. The only way to classify it is as a free jazz album, but it's not your typical free jazz stuff. And this guy is like, I don't know if you want to call him underrated or what, just doesn't get the credit he deserves. And that's Marion Brown. Afternoon of a Georgia Fawn on ECM. This is so interesting. He creates like this soundscape on this album. There's a lot of great players on here. Again, definitely not your average free jazz album, but it's excellent. Chick Corea's on here, Anthony Braxton. Who else? A bunch of players are on here. Benny Maupin's on here. From 1970 on ECM. I think it's supposed to try and be reminiscent of an afternoon like in Georgia, the sounds you hear. Not all of it, but you get my drift. Very interesting album for sure. 2 long tracks, 1 on each side. Marion Brown, excellent. This is a really good one too. Archie Shepp, Yasmina, a Black Woman. XUL number 4, reissue. Killer. That title track takes up the whole first side. Definitely a free jazz piece for sure, and some cool players on here as well. That first track again is members of he's with members of the Art Ensemble of Chicago. Lester Bowie, Roscoe Mitchell, Malachi Favors, Dave Burrell's on there. The second side, though, is much more of a hard bop, you know, sort of material. But the playing has sort of an avant-garde edge to it, just in the sort of fiery playing, but killer. Archie Shepp. Cool stuff. Alright, now these last 3, I'm so glad to get. All 3 of them I've been after for a while and just don't see them. Original Blue Note. All the research I've done tells me that they are originals and they're pristine Blue Note. Cecil Taylor, Conquistador. Awesome. Cecil Taylor, of course, free jazz pianist. Beautiful copy of this on Blue Note. So happy to get this. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. The vinyl looked pretty much unplayed. Just beautiful. Conquistador classic. Again, free. All these are like free jazz staples here. This one I've been after a while too, and just no luck. Same seller. I got the Conquistador. Don Cherry, Where's Brooklyn? So glad to get this. To me, yeah, this is a free jazz classic. Features Pharoah Sanders, Henry Grimes, and Ed Blackwell. Killer. Where's Brooklyn? Again, Blue Note. Really happy to get this one. And finally, I've had this for again a couple months, but yeah, so glad to get it though. Coltrane's Kulusi Mama on Impulse. Monster record. Maybe one of the best Coltrane albums, period, but definitely one of the best of later Coltrane. Killer stuff. Really nice copy. I definitely wouldn't say it's near mint, but it's a really nice copy. I will say that. VG Plus. There's been one at my local store. They've wanted like $60 for it. One of the local stores. I just couldn't bring myself to pay that much. I paid nowhere near that. Thank goodness, but yeah. Impulse. I don't know if it's an original ABC Impulse. I don't know if they were ABC by that point, but yeah, so happy to get it. Excellent, excellent stuff, especially the title track. But the whole thing is great. So there you go, guys. Cool stuff. Sorry if this video is sort of sloppy. I don't know. It's late. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm telling you, please come back and check out my next video, which I'm hoping will be tomorrow. It may be the day after that, so that would be Thursday. Some great stuff, and a lot more than this, I gotta say. Yeah, a lot. Leave me some comments. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And I'll catch you later. Thanks.